Welcome back to another episode of Had to Be There. There's a throwback episode, or as we like to call them, Time Capsule Thursdays, because we're silly like that. This episode, like all episodes, is brought to you by our media partner in crime, Furry Turkey. Check out furryturkey.com for all the Had to Be There merch and more information on what the heck a furry turkey might be. This episode is also brought to you by Board at Work. Check out boardatwork.shop for a bunch of skateboard-inspired clothing, inspired by our favorite skateboard tricks. You'll look great out there this summer, shredding the gnar in some fun t-shirts and hoodies at boardatwork.shop. This episode is also brought to you by the Candy Collection, Daddy Dirt's tattoo-inspired clothing line with the summer tee out there. It's a tie-dye tee with fun sugar skull that's tattoo-inspired. I think Daddy Dirt might even have one of those on his butt cheeks. Not sure. That might be a secret. Don't tell anyone I told you that. But anyway, hope you enjoy this episode. Let's get started.
Shut up and sit down.
Daddy Dirt and Mommy Mike present Had to Be There podcast.
Drone 2K.
That's it.
There you go.
I mean, I could just sit for an hour and listen to music.
Yeah, that's what I did by myself all Friday night. For 3 hours, actually. Not just one, 3. Because I'm a little special. Do you like the ashtray I got you?
I do like that. You're a real, you like to get different knickknacks for smoking cigars.
Yeah, I'm a knick-knack guy.
Don't chop off too much. No. Yeah, you're probably good there. Just drop it right in.
As we're talking about how sharp it is, just crunches the whole thing right in half.
I know, I need to just buy like a stainless steel one.
Yeah.
The stainless steel ones last for so much longer.
That's the beauty about cigars. There's a ton of little trinkets and knickknacks and accessories that you can get with it.
Well, and I need to buy like a nice lighter too, like a nice torch lighter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so worth it. And then just get a freaking 6-ounce thing of butane that lasts you forever.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Especially, you're not smoking stogies every single day.
No.
I did get some of it in the whiskey. What are we doing? No. Got it all out. Perfect.
I think I like lighting them better with a match.
I like the process of lighting them better than the process of actually smoking them. Do you agree?
Wait, you like the process of lighting them better than smoking them?
Uh-huh.
No, totally disagree.
I like pouring a glass of whiskey, cutting the tip off, and lighting it.
I think
Don't really care about the smoking it. Just that process suits me.
I think you're more about cutting the tip off.
Yeah.
And if you could, you do it with your mouth.
My teeth aren't sharp enough though, because I haven't been to the dentist in 4 years.
I haven't been to the dentist in 15.
That's what dentists do, right? They just sharpen your teeth for you.
Mm-hmm. So you could chew on.
Don't need that. Sharpen them at home.
How many times I gotta tell you it's the tip of the match that's the spark?
Oh.
Well, first day in about 75. You're good. You got it. In about 7 days that it hasn't rained, so that's nice.
Yeah. Apparently, fall in the state is just rain. Mm-hmm. It went from being 80 and sunny to being 70 and rainy to being like 45 and rainy.
Yeah.
And now, finally, we have a nice day. It's supposed to snow next Saturday.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. Wifey told me this morning it's supposed to snow next Saturday. Winter's coming. Winter is coming.
If we go duck hunting when it snows, that's the last time I went. It is awesome. You were literally sitting there, and it's literally coming down. It was the first snow of the year, and it put like a real thin layer out. It was awesome. We're all just sitting there like hunkered down waiting for the
Ooh,
ducks.
can we all cuddle?
It was awesome.
Let's all cuddle
You know
in
what?
the
Never
bunk.
mind. You're not invited anymore.
Come on, dude.
No, you're not invited.
Why? Just because I want to snugs? Just because I want to snugs with some bros?
Jeez. You got some problems. I'm usually the one who brings out snacks because I get hungry and thirsty.
Yeah, because you have the metabolism of a young Filipino boy.
Yeah, so I bring out
So
snacks.
God forbid you go an hour without a snack.
I bring out some protein bars. I fill up the camel pack with some water, and make sure everyone stays hydrated.
I'm bringing whiskey, and that's it.
You know what I've noticed is, as I've gotten older, I notice getting dehydrated affects me a lot more.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
I start to shut down.
Yeah. I'm more aware of my water intake throughout the day.
Which is crazy because it never used to affect me. Like when I used to play football, I seriously would barely drink water and like still go through a full practice barely drinking water.
Yeah. In high school, I would just drink pop.
And eat pizza before bed.
Yeah, every night.
Could you imagine eating pizza before bed every night now?
No, I'd die. I do it some nights.
Yeah.
I almost did it last night, but I didn't. I didn't trust myself leaving the oven on. So yesterday was a long day.
Yesterday was a long day.
It was a fun day.
How heavy do you think
Productive
the couch
day.
was? We never talked about this. How heavy do you think
Okay,
the
so
couch was?
set it up a little bit because
Okay.
so you're moving,
Yeah, we moved.
and me being the fantastic friend that I am,
Yeah.
helped you
Yeah.
move,
Yeah.
and
You're a decent friend, but yeah.
yeah, and you have this couch that got moved in for you by the moving company or the delivery company.
Yep.
It's nice couch, reclines, 2-seater, but you can fit 3 people on there, I guess. But
Yeah.
2 main seats, 2 recliners, both recline back, tufted a little bit, leather, non-removable cushions, and a base heavier than an elephant's anus.
Yeah, it was one you can't take the frame off either.
Yeah.
Because it's all connected.
Yep. So it's all metal and leather and
Yep.
recliner mechanics and
Yep.
cushions, and you can't divide it up
But
at
it
all.
bends. But it bends because it's kind of shitty.
Yeah. It bends, but it doesn't break.
Yeah.
Your couch's resolve is impeccable.
It was about. I wouldn't say it was. So, did you ever lift the big screen that we had? Like back in the day, we
No.
had it was one of those big ones that had a deep box. That thing, probably, I'm probably exaggerating, close to 300 pounds.
When TVs are awkward.
Yeah, but this thing had the deep box on
Yeah.
it. It was one of those old school, probably 300
Those are
pounds.
awkward because it's
Yeah.
like heavy top or front heavy.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we lifted that. The couch wasn't that heavy, but it was so awkward. And the place we tried to move it into, the new apartment, was impossible.
Well, in all honesty, the couch itself wasn't that heavy. End to end, walking down a hallway, easy. I could have done that
Yeah,
all day. It
yeah.
was heavy, but we're doing it. It's
Yeah.
fine. We're strong.
Yeah.
Lift with your back, not your legs.
Yeah.
We're good.
Do
But
curls with it.
but the tight doorways and stairs that we had to go up, or like because it wouldn't fit in the elevator, was ridiculous. That couch is so girthy.
Well, and you think about the older buildings, they didn't build them with people having couches that big.
Did you already have to refill your whiskey a little bit?
well,
I'm proud of you.
Well, because I got a lot of
Happy,
ice.
happy Sunday, dude.
got a lot of ice. I'm gonna melt
Sunday
some.
fun day.
But no, and I think the new buildings, like that building that we were living in, 5 years old, so they built them so you could fit big stuff into those elevators. They had 2 designated moving elevators.
Yeah.
So like.
And even that was kind of tight.
Yeah, it was tight. And like, I think the hardest part when it became heavy was when we had to lift it over our head to get it vertical.
Yeah.
That was the hardest
Especially when we were doing it one-handed, just because.
part. Yeah, I just wanted to get a workout.
Because we wanted to.
Wanted to get a workout.
Wanted to.
Probably my favorite word, wanted to.
Yeah, wanted to.
Yeah. But I wanted to get a workout.
America's most wanted to. It was a fun day though. We got a shitload done. I felt accomplished at the end of the day.
We honestly couldn't have done it without you.
No,
100%.
you needed bodies. You
Yeah.
need people.
Yeah. Yeah. And we would have gotten it done faster, I think, if wifey had stayed. But
Yeah. And if lady
wouldn't
didn't have to run an
fucking
errand.
dog. That fucking dog. But I'm gonna be honest. He made me happy for the 20 minutes he was there.
Yeah, he's so cute,
I was
dude.
really
He's like the cuddliest dog I've ever met. He looks like a teddy bear, and then he just plops down on your lap, and
Well, and like when he jumps on you, you're like, that doesn't hurt.
And
Like,
he's not like a small little purse dog. But he's not a big dog. He's just, what are you, 25 pounds maybe?
He's 35.
35, yeah.
Perfect size.
Mm-hmm.
He's perfect size. He's not like, he doesn't lick. He doesn't bite. He barely jumps, and if he jumps, he's not gonna hurt you. He's not like an 80-pound dog where if they jump on you, you're like, okay, that doesn't feel very good. Get off of me. Yeah. He was fun. He's funny. He looks like a human. Like, or like a teddy bear. Like when he looks at you, his face, like when he stares at you, it looks like it's fake. Yeah. Like he's a statue.
When I was carrying him in, he was so just stiff. Like his body was just like rigid.
When he got in the elevator, his bottom leg just went dead straight. And he was like, okay, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Get me off this thing. Oh, that was awesome.
We did it. We got done.
We did it. We got done.
We got over at like 9:15ish, 9:30 yesterday morning. I was home by 10:30. No, I was home by 10.
Yeah, probably.
10:30, yeah.
Well, I mean, we sat down at 7:30.
Yeah.
Because I was like part of the way through the game.
Yeah, we weren't working until 10:30.
Yeah, part of the way through the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that felt good. As soon as we like got the last boxes moved in and cracked a couple beers, it was
chill.
Once I laid in that gravity chair and had a beer in my hand, I wasn't doing any more work for you. Like,
no,
I was done.
I was done at that point. I was like, the game's on, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm guessing they ended up winning.
Yeah, I mean they destroyed them.
Were there any other games on last night? I guess that was super late already. It still felt like. I don't know where the day went, because it still felt like when we were like wrapping up, it was like 6, 7 o'clock. I felt like 2 or 3 in the afternoon for me.
So it's weird. I feel the same way, because it's weird. It's weird when it starts getting darker earlier, but we haven't hit daylight savings yet. So you're like, oh,
maybe
it should be way
up.
later. Yeah, but
I'm also just not used to like getting up and like just going and do stuff on Saturday, so just felt like I had a longer day. Then I was up till 4.
Yeah, we didn't stay up very late. We turned on Horrible Bosses, one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah. It's so funny. So funny.
What was that, Charlie Day? He's from Always Sunny.
He's so funny.
Speaking of new, like, he's not new, but...
You're gonna give me that dong, Dale.
new to us, Mark Norman. One of the funniest humans I've ever met now.
The first time.
Not met, but I've ever seen. Like, he's so funny.
Dude, when he was on Fire and the Kid, I heard him for the first time on that.
Yeah.
He's like...
I heard him on... I've heard him on some Legion of Skank stuff, but I heard him on Rogan first, and then Fighter and the Kid. He was funny on Rogan, but it's more of a conversation. Yeah. He was hilarious on Fighter and the Kid.
He's more vulgar than... And like, makes the worst time jokes of all time. Like, says shit that you can't say. Like, and it's so funny.
Callan was talking about a couple of girls. Oh, a couple of tall skanks.
Yeah. Oh, I forget what he said. I was listening to it on the plane back from Philadelphia. Oh my gosh, dude.
Calls him like Gash and stuff. Yeah, it's so... Like, his timing, like, it's not it's always like inappropriate.
It's always a too soon joke.
Yeah.
It's always a too soon.
I love that. It's so funny. And his time, like, he's so quick with it.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Where do you get these matches from?
Total Wine.
Brick House.
Total Wine. I'm sure they charged me $1 for them.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah, it says $9.99 on here, actually.
Perfect.
I'm done.
You done?
Yep. It's over.
Podcast is over?
It's over.
That's all you have to say?
Yep.
Who did the Browns play tomorrow, don't they?
Yeah, Monday night. I should know this.
You know what I like is the fact that they have pissed everybody in their division off.
Yeah.
Just by how much everyone's talked about them.
First place, baby.
It's the hardest division in the league.
My mom was texting me, oh, Vikings are 2-2 too, you know, like, everyone has a chance. And I go, yeah, but Mom, Browns are in first place and the Vikings are in last.
Here, so. They play,
I'm guessing the Vikings won.
They play the 49ers. That's going to be a good game, dude. The 49ers are undefeated right now.
The Vikings end up winning. I picked against them today, so obviously ended up winning.
I picked them today. Maybe I didn't. They won.
20-10, yeah.
I think I did pick them. Did you pick against them?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why they won. Every time I pick against them, they end up winning.
Oh, dude, we should have watched this.
Go Browns.
Should have watched the Steelers Ravens game. That's always a fun game to watch. The Patriots destroyed the Redskins.
Who's playing Sunday night tonight?
Let's see. So, the Colts and Chiefs. That might not be terrible. The Colts might get destroyed.
Yeah, but it could be one of those weird ones where they surprise you.
Yeah, could be.
Sunday Night Football usually ends up being a really good game.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
They
like
do
they
a good
rig it.
job. Yeah, I think they do.
They totally do. Chris Collinsworth totally rigs it.
Do you think they do that?
No,
You don't.
it'd be so hard. I'm sure there is some call like. I
I don't
know.
think
How-
the refs know the book in Vegas.
Yeah, how do you not take that into account a little bit? Even just like it, like on close calls and stuff too. Like just they can sway it just a little bit. But what's cool about like soccer?
Soccer's the most corrupt sport in the entire world.
but like they're open about it. Like the refs have like they can just call the game whenever they want and the extra time or whatever. Like
it's all relative.
they want the refs to have like some control of the game. They don't want to have like a bunch of instant replay stuff. They don't want to have a bunch of challenges. They want that human element to impact the game,
well,
which is kind of cool.
It's a little bit more wide open of a game, too,
Yeah.
so it's a little easier to make the calls. Whereas football's so fast and it's in a confined
They're
space.
calling way too many penalties. It's so annoying.
Hey, yeah, and it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rewarding the refs that are making a lot of calls.
Yeah, well, and that's what they're saying is like refs don't want to have demerits on their report card at the end of the game, so they'll call everything they see because they don't want to. They never know if that one missed call is going to impact the game, and then fans and teams are going to start bitching about it.
Well, and think about how much they get paid to do a Super Bowl game or a playoff game. I mean, I'm sure they get paid more than they get paid for a regular season game. If you make that list,
Yeah.
if you make that list, then you probably get paid more. It's just like the players. If you make it to the Super Bowl, you get like a big bonus.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. My old boss, his uncle, is a NFL referee.
My uncle is too,
Really?
or he was. He's a instant replay official.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then my grandpa was a Big Ten official. You already knew that thing.
Yeah, I knew that. Gophers killed it yesterday.
Yeah, they did. That's it. That'll be interesting if they can. If
You had to be there. Sports podcast.
Well, it's just the way that it goes.
Yeah.
You know, where it leads us wherever it leads us. But yeah, I think.
This is what we're interested in, not you. We don't give a shit.
I think. I don't know if the Gophers beat Nebraska. I don't think Nebraska's a good team to beat, but I mean, it's a hard game. I think they have to play in Lincoln.
No, I think Nebraska's coming to
Oh, are they?
Minnesota. I think so.
Another thing, I gotta Google it.
I was driving the old pickup truck yesterday, listening to the radio, listening to the Gopher game, and
Dude,
that's what I heard.
That's always what's on in the pickup is some 1130 or some 100.3. Where do they play?
Yeah, at Minnesota.
That'd be a fun atmosphere.
At Minnesota, you know. You betcha.
What do you say?
The reporter was like asking I think it was like the quarterback, like, oh, how did it feel handing off to that star running back? Where he goes, oh, I felt pretty great, you know, or yeah, I like that. You betcha.
Yeah.
It's the most like stereotypical Minnesotan response. It pissed me off. Don't give us a bad name on the radio like that. Come on, don't play into it.
I don't think I've ever said "you betcha" to respond to an answer ever in my life.
I've said you bet.
Yeah, I've said "you bet."
Yeah.
I've never said "you betcha."
Yeah. Do you ever say my bad?
Yeah.
That's what I say at work a lot.
Is that a Minnesotan thing?
I don't know. I say it at work a lot though. Hey, you forgot to send me this report. Oh yeah, my bad. And then I still don't send it.
Do you ever get on the phone when you're saying bye to people? You're like, okay, bye bye.
Yeah.
You say bye bye. You say bye bye to like.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.
I'm always afraid that I'm gonna say I love you at the end of a phone call with a customer. Cause like, did you ever say that to a teacher? Teacher?
A T-shirt?
A teacher? Did you ever say that to a teacher? I accidentally called the teacher mom once.
No, I don't think I
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I'm always afraid, and then I get in my head when I'm on the phone call. I'm like, "Don't say I love you. Don't say I love you. Don't say I love you." And then I'm like, "Stop psyching yourself out. Now you're gonna say I love you."
There's
It's never happened yet though.
There's some days where I get very close to like with a person that I shouldn't swear with. You know, there's certain people you have relationships with. There's other people who are like, I shouldn't swear, and I just have to hold it in sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's hard.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I wonder like if I let stuff slip and I don't even realize that I slipped.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I'm trying to be conscious.
So do I.
Cause I have a little bit of a potty mouth on the weekends, you know.
I'm a fucking sailor. I swear like a sailor. I think the thing is too is like I don't.
You also like a lot of semen, so that makes sense. That you're a sailor. You're
I
out
don't
on
realize.
the sea, you're a man, seaman.
I don't realize how harsh the word fuck sounds until someone else says it. And I'm like, oh that.
Yeah, especially when you say it.
Okay,
it's
that's pretty.
You put a lot of testosterone into it.
I like it though. It feels good to say it. You know what? I think the most satisfying thing is to say is motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't use it very often.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It feels good.
Yeah.
It like.
If I get really angry, just yell something.
Yeah.
Just super. And then you feel better. Did that make you feel better? Did that make you... Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did, motherfucker. It did. It helped.
It's so true though. Like especially when you're in the car.
Yeah.
And you're like, "What are you doing, you mother?" And just scream it. And you're like, "All right, now I feel better about it." And they didn't have to hear me, and I didn't offend anybody. I was in my car by myself.
Yeah. And it's like no one. That's like the one word that no one actually takes it at its literal meaning. Like it is just like a swear word. It's just another name to call someone. It doesn't actually mean that you're making love to people's mothers. You're not a mother lover.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's like what a lot of words want to be.
Yeah.
But they aren't yet.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people say it in like a joking. I think a lot of people say it in a joking way. Like I don't think a lot of people go up to someone like if they're really pissed at them and say that to them.
Yeah.
Because if they did,
those are fighting words.
Yeah.
I would say that's on the same level as like the C word.
Oh yeah. That's my least favorite word. I could never. But the thing is like
It's one of my favorite words, but it's
use it.
It's hard because no one else finds it acceptable.
I never use it. But like like when I've talked to people from London, they use it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I was in London and we had dinner with family friends, and they were talking about like that's a totally acceptable word over there. Yeah. But then if you say,
Isn't it bitch?
No, it's like a word for fanny. You can't say fanny. That means like vagina over there. That's like an inappropriate word. It's like an inappropriate slang for your pud.
That's so weird. Pud.
Yeah. Like fanny. Like
really?
That's more offensive to them than the C word.
That's so weird to me.
I always got confused because I always liked Chewy Runts growing up. Best candy ever.
What?
Runts. Rhymes with the C word. Keep up, you idiot.
Yeah.
Wake up, dude. I know you were traveling last weekend, you moved all this weekend, but keep up a little bit, you know?
I didn't draw the correlation until you said it. Speaking of last weekend, I think I told you this, but I introduced my friend there to
Chip D'Elia's
Chip Delano's rapper stuff where he makes fun of Tekashi 6ix9ine. We're sitting in the line for Portillo's to get Portillo's, and he's crying laughing because we're listening to the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing, and he's like, "You're such a pretty little lady."
You just have your phone out in the line.
We're sitting in the car, and we're crying laughing. So we pull up to the drive-thru, and we're both crying because we're listening to him. And he's like, "Oh, you're such a pretty little lady, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine." He calls him a different name every single time. It's so
sometimes it's a guy, sometimes it's a lady.
Yeah. He goes, "Oh, you have such a good mother-daughter relationship."
Dude, he's so funny. I want him on Fighter and the Kid again soon.
They have the best. Those three together are the best.
Yep, and it's been a while now where I feel like he's been in all these movies. Brian Callen's been through a divorce and is public now. Like, I feel like it's gonna be, because Chris almost let it slip earlier.
And they all just start laughing.
Yeah.
That's the best part is they all just start laughing. And they're like, and Brian's sitting there like, oh gosh, she's gonna say, and he goes, be careful, be careful, be careful.
Well, and like Brian, when he talked about it finally, he's like, it's not that I didn't want to tell people, it's just I had to make sure my kids were like, understood everything before the public knew. And
right.
If they hear stuff from friends or other parents or whatever, like that'd be hard, like being a parent like that's in the spotlight with kids that aren't like.
Yep. You want to shelter them from it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that I think it's really interesting. Like we talked about this last time, but like Joe wants to move to Colorado and like kind of just get out of the hustle and bustle. And he like, you don't ever hear about. You never hear about his kids. Like the only thing that he introduces from his outside life is his dog. Yeah. And like that's it. Like I've never seen his wife. Yeah. I've never seen his wife.
Google it.
But seriously, like he just keeps all of them out of it, which is crazy.
Yeah. And he talks about them, but you don't know their names. You know, like versus good or bad versus like a Bert Kreischer who you know his daughter's names. You know they're on some of his videos and stuff. Like he talks about them a lot on stage. Like it's different, but Bert's completely different from Joe too. That's probably a completely different family.
Well, it's part of his comedy is like him being the dad that he is. Yeah, like that's part of it. Yeah, which is super funny.
I'm excited to listen to Mark Norman on Bert.
Can you imagine those two together?
It's out there. They did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just haven't listened to it yet.
No, but I mean, like, can you imagine those two talking together? Because they're both very vulgar.
Bird and Mark?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, those two playing off of each other would be hilarious.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's going to be really funny.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the Sober October podcast?
Yes. So funny.
With Ari?
So
dosing Bert. I hope he releases that podcast. That's so funny.
What would your response be? What would your reaction be? Like if someone did that to you, like, and you had like a wife and kids, and like you want to have dinner with them because you're leaving for the week. Like, what would your response be?
You know, I think the biggest issue
because Joe asked.
Yeah, the biggest issue that I would have with it is if I was in Bert's shoes, how it would impact my medicine.
Yeah, that's
like because he's on like blood pressure stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not on anything.
Yeah.
So I would probably be similar to Joe and Bert though, where it's like I would just do it with you. You know, like if you really wanted me to do it with you, I would just do it with you. Don't surprise me because I feel like that's the worst time. That's the worst thing to go into. Yeah. That thing. If someone did do that to me, I wouldn't want to know. Like, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Like, just let me ride it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
then I'll get apprehensive about it if I know. Because then I'm like, oh, I wasn't planning on doing this. I didn't do this. Like, I've never done this before. How does it impact me? Like, and then I'd be like in my head too much versus just like not knowing.
Well, I think that's probably part of it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea, but like I would feel the same way. Like,
well, he had a flight that night and stuff.
Like, tell me a month later.
If I just had to go have dinner with my wife and kids, like I'd just go eat dinner. Like,
yeah, but I think you'd act differently if you knew. But if you didn't know, and then they tell you a month later, like, hey, dude, by the way, I should probably let you know.
Yeah, I would just tell him though.
I don't know.
Well, and Bert did tell him, and his wife already hated Ari. Because he tweeted something about killing Bert's daughter or something. Like something way over the top for her.
It is crazy though, like the
Ari holds nothing back.
The difference between like who Joe's friends with, like it runs the whole gamut. Which is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, he's open to everything, which is cool.
Yeah.
Versus like I just have you and we essentially think the same on everything.
Yep, pretty much.
Then if we want to get like an elderly perspective, we loop in old bitch to the convo. Oh, like back in the 40s, what do you think? How do you think they would have handled this?
Where in a previous time, what era would you have wanted to live in?
70s for sure.
Really?
60s, 70s, yeah. Free love. punk.
Free love like you gotta pay for.
No, like just drugs and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Punk rock coming up, just like Dazed and Confused. Like I feel like I would have thrived.
Yeah. I'd for sure,
Yeah.
hands down, 100% pick the 20s. 100%.
And like I feel like I'm kind of creative. Like I come up with like some decent ideas. I feel like back then there would have been a lot more bandwidth of like ideas out there that I could have capitalized on. Versus now everything's taken up and it's harder to do. Like it's in some ways it's a lot easier to do things with technology and stuff, but it's hard. There's
It's
a lot. There's a
saturated.
it's every market is very saturated. So like I mean even like podcasts like there's tons of podcasts out there. You got to break through a lot. So I think I would have just done well. I think too, if it wasn't like the 60s, 70s, like kind of end of 60s, early 70s, like to actually like I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 90, but to actually be like a teenager like in the 90s, I think that would have been kind of fun too.
Yep. Yeah, because I was like booming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was by the time the 90s were over, I was 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so I grew up in the 90s, but I wasn't a 90s kid, I would say. Like, if I was born in, like, 85 and then came up in, like, the 90s, I think that would have been fun, too.
Oh, you were saying, yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go way back, though.
The 20s.
Why?
1000%. I don't know, I just like...
You want to wear
like
uncomfortable suits and die of syphilis?
Isn't that crazy? Like, they all wore suits. Like, everybody wore suits all the time. Like, you didn't go out in public unless you were, like, wearing a suit or, like, if you were running errands for the day, like, you went to go pick up groceries,
See,
like, you were wearing a suit.
I hate wearing suits. I like wearing suits for, like, the right occasion. I like getting done up and looking good, feeling right. But, like, I could never wear a suit every day. I like being comfortable. I wore a hoodie 3 days last week.
Game changer. The game changer for me in terms of wearing suits and being comfortable, because I don't like when shirts get, like, untucked or, like, they get baggy.
Yeah.
A vest. And back in the 20s, they all wore vests and stuff. They wore three-piece suits a lot of the time, right? Or that's what you see. That's a game changer. So now, if I'm going to a meeting or something, I most of the time, even if I'm not wearing a tie, I'll put on a vest. Just because then I don't have to worry about my shirt getting all baggy and stuff. It just stays there, and it's really comfortable at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but that's what's created it being comfortable for me.
I bought a coat today for my Halloween costume.
How much money are you spending on this Halloween costume since you bought a coat?
So far, like $50.
Jeez, dude.
But any
Are you
reason-
gonna keep that coat?
I don't know. I might try to reuse it, or I might sell it. The coat is $25.
Oh. I might try to sell it to who?
I don't know. Anyone. Just sell it on eBay. Even if I get $10 back for it, then it was a $15 coat.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Or I'll find a way to reuse it. Because it's definitely not like a coat that I can wear like day to day.
Yeah.
It's a costume coat type deal.
I can't wait.
I want to know what you are. Because you keep saying it's stupid.
It is. It's dumb, but it's funny.
But is it going to be like...
It's funny.
Is everyone else going to get it?
Maybe not. We'll have to tell you probably.
Okay.
And then you're gonna be like, you guys are idiots.
I really want to go as horny paramedics.
Well, we already. I mean, never mind. You know, we probably already have 2 people that are gonna be that anyway. So.
Yeah, they are. Didn't you see their Snapchats the other night? I don't think they follow the obligatory wedding rules though.
Hey, guess what? I don't think that you need to send that to the group.
I agree.
Get a room. Hey, get a room.
I called it quits. I said too far, guys.
Too far. Hey, sorry. Wolfpack's not interested.
Too far. Now go munch each other's buttholes.
I mean,
one of these
you're
days.
the king of ashing.
One of these days
You're
it's
the
gonna
king
go.
of ashing.
One of these days I'm gonna time it right.
Yeah, and it'll go in the place it's supposed to.
Yeah.
That would have been good though if it would have gone in your drink. That would have made me happy. I would have been very happy.
You motherfucker.
You know what I can't wait for? What I actually
Streaming?
can't wait for? Well, yeah, streaming.
And the new studio upstairs.
Aside from the podcast, is smoking cigars at Anthony's in the winter.
And then going over for a Guinness next door.
And those wings, dude.
Yes.
Oh my.
Dude, what if eventually we can rent out a portion of Anthony's and do a winter podcast there.
I don't know where you do it though. I mean, I guess if you brought mics, it wouldn't matter because it would drown out some of the noise.
Yeah. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it with people around though.
We couldn't do it there. We couldn't do it there. You know, best thing would be is have a man cave room and have a ventilated unit in the room and just do it in there.
Yeah. That's the eventual goal.
That's the dream.
That's the eventual goal.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We just need a room for it. Right now we just don't have that. But that studio upstairs is gonna be cool for streaming.
And it'll be good for a podcast too.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to stick some like corkboard on the wall?
Yeah, I'm gonna do acoustic. Put acoustic
fold
stuff.
stuff
Yeah,
on the
because
wall?
we're gonna put the piano and stuff in there, so I'm gonna set it up so she can sing and
So you
stuff.
guys can start your band.
Yeah, family band. But she has that like nice keyboard and stuff. Like, just wanted that room's not usable right now, and no one sleeps in there.
No.
We're gonna get a day bed for it. Sell that bed.
Yeah.
Get a day bed, so you still have. But it's gonna be like a couch. It'll be like the one up at Furry Turkey North.
Oh yeah.
Your bed.
Yeah.
Where it can,
It's the best bed of all time.
be a couch when you need it, be a bed when you need it, and
the
then
best bed of all time.
yeah, and then I'm gonna put a desk on that wall where the keyboard is now. That's gonna be streaming. Put a TV up, so we can stream from the couch too. We'll just have a few different setups, and
It'll be
sick. Bunch of good games coming out.
There are a bunch of good games coming out. My tattoo guy in Chicago said he loves that Zelda game, the animated one.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he loves it. Or animated, it's all animated.
Yeah, yeah. I'll probably end
the
up getting
cartoony
that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably get that next year.
Yeah, he said
because
it's really
I want to get Luigi's Mansion and Pokemon this year.
He said he's played a lot of games. I can't remember what he told me, but he's played a lot of games. And I'm like, are you? Because I've asked you. I'm like, are you the one who just plays them to like play them and you kind of like get far and then move on to the next one? He's like, no. He goes, I play them like all the way through. He's like, I try to beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do. I can't devote 10 hours a day to do it, so I play them in spurts, and then I have to be in the mood to do it.
Right. Right. Yeah. You have to have nothing planned where you're like, all right, this is what I'm doing. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm always have a hard time getting out of the mindset of like, if I'm doing something that's not like quote unquote productive,
Yeah.
that I'm doing something wrong.
We should do that one day. Like I'm one of those people. I'm gonna be honest. I like watching people play. Well, you do too.
Yeah.
Watching people play games. Like, we should just stream one day, and like I'll watch you play. Then we'll play like Mario Kart together or Super Smash, and then like go back to playing something else.
Well, like if we're playing like just single player games too, one of us can be reading the chat, one of us can be playing, switch off, whatever.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, and then I talked about this last time too, but just like with the online stuff, you can play Super Smash with people that follow us and play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Sure, like there's probably gonna be Pokemon battles and stuff. That might be kind of cool.
I can't wait to play the new.
Luigi's Mansion is a 2-player game too, so
really?
You can be
so
like.
Can I join it in the middle of your thing?
Yeah.
So like you're in the middle of the campaign or the story.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That'd
You can be like a ghost.
Yeah.
You're like the ghost Luigi, and you can run around and do like the same stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Same with Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like if we were playing, you could have another remote, and you're not playing, but you can go and grab different like collectibles for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just pretty much a cursor, and you can go around and like grab other stuff. Well, I'm like, so I don't have to focus on that. I can just play the game and.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And you can like kill enemies and stuff.
When we were talking about with my tattoo guy, we were talking about Mario Party, and we were both. I was like, because I remember last time we played it, and we were like, I forgot how long it takes to play. And he goes, yeah, dude, it takes forever.
It's kind of a slow moving game too. I wish it would just hurry up.
It's more fun if you play it with everybody that's playing characters.
Yeah, the computers suck. Like playing with computers, we need. That's what we should bring up. That's what we should bring up for Friendsgiving.
Yeah, and you can play 6 people at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Because it's more fun to play. Like, I remember playing growing up, and we play like 5 guys at a time or 6 guys at a time.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. It was so awesome. Like, knee hockey tournaments and then playing Mario Party.
Yeah.
Knee hockey,
The
dude.
dream.
Knee hockey. I don't care if we have kids. Still gonna put a knee hockey room
For sure.
or floor hockey.
Yeah.
Like like
Like the
the,
I know what you're
the
talking
family
about.
that
Yeah,
lived close to
uh-huh.
you. That was the best.
Yeah, they had a
dude.
whole room dedicated to it, just holes in every wall from the
Yeah.
brothers checking each other into the wall.
So much.
I got
fun.
so I went over there and played, and I was like, "This isn't for me. You guys are way too big and fast, and
Dude, that
aggressive
was so
for
much
me."
Fun. And we'd like put on our gloves and stuff.
Our friends that were neighbors with my parents, they
Yeah.
had a sick room for knee hockey too, because they had that whole room dedicated to it essentially for knee hockey. AJ,
I'm trying to think where. I don't remember.
when they finished the basement finally.
Oh yeah, it was off the living room.
Yep,
Yeah,
mhm.
I remember that. Yeah, I was trying to remember their basement. They had a sick when they finished that basement. That was a sick basement.
Yeah, they don't live there anymore. They moved up north.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
That's the dream. Is to have a place down here, like a townhouse down here. I know they'd move like full time up there, but have a place down here, like a townhouse.
Yeah.
And then go up there and work 3 days out of the week up there, and then have the weekend there. Like that's the
The
dream.
communal.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Dude, communal Furry Turkey North HQ.
My sister talked about wanting to do it too, and I was like, hey, if you're down, but I'm
Yeah.
not taking care of the whole thing. So, I mean, it's a communal for every. I mean, if you got enough people involved, you could just say, yeah. I mean, here are the primetime weekends, and you set up.
It has to be the right group of people to do that. Though.
Well, and like you and
Yeah.
like we've talked about, like major weekends, no extended families invited. Like you
Yep.
can only have the people that own it, and then that's it.
Yep.
And like maybe one or two mutual friends if there's enough room. If there's not, fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's just up there to hang out.
You gotta vote them in.
Yeah.
It's like Survivor.
But dude, that's the dream.
Yeah.
And then just have a bunch of little separate cabins or whatever, like, and it's just a room and a bathroom, and that's
Yeah.
it. It's a dream.
Yeah, or just have a bunch of bedrooms, or get a camper out there or something. So people stay in the camper, like.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Dude, that'd be sick. Someday. Someday.
It'll happen.
Guy can dream, can he?
It's not a dream, dude. It's just gonna be a reality. Did I show you? I haven't showed you these yet.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you to talk about these.
So,
Yeah, that's sweet.
yeah.
I like how kind of just like faded these are.
Yeah. So he was like, I think we're gonna drown out the wording too much if we
Mm-hmm.
put the 9 and the towers right here. So he's like, let's just put it down. And I like how he
Yeah.
put the cloud too. He's like, I gotta give him a little bit of a background because I don't want to go all the way around it because then I'll drown out the words.
Yeah.
And then he's like, trust me, I did this light enough to where you're still gonna be able to see the letters.
Yeah, because right here you can see like
Yeah.
you can still see it, but if that was the whole thing, it wouldn't be that readable. I like the one on your back too that you got,
Yeah. Do you see that?
and that was just a split second decision, right?
So it's just it's like real rough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks 100% better in person too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
He looks at me and he goes, because like, if you look at the angel on my back, like, and I'm standing straight up, it looks normal.
Yeah.
I had my arm like resting on something when he was trying to line this one up, and he's like, the angel's crooked, and I'm like, it's either crooked or my neck's crooked, and then I put my arm down, and he's like, oh, okay, that looks better. But I was like, oh, my back's probably a little crooked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, scoliosis Saturday,
Yeah,
you know?
whatever, you know?
I have jaundice. You maybe have a minor case of skull.
Dude, how long do you think I sat for both of these?
5 hours? 3.
Mhm.
Wow.
He did the script in like
Does he just not talk to you during it?
35 minutes. He talks. So we talk a little bit, but like he turns on rap music and then like he just goes
Yeah.
to town. And he has medical
Okay.
weed, so he just like he'll smoke before and then he just gets in the zone. And like that's kind of
Yeah.
nice because I like to watch him. I'm one of those people like I really like just to watch, and I'm not trying to watch to make sure they do a good job. I
Yeah.
just like watching.
Yeah, it's
like I get
interesting.
mesmerized.
Yeah. I like watching that on YouTube. Just like,
Well, and like when you look at him, the thing is too. Have you ever noticed when your guys been doing yours, where you're looking at it, you're like, how is he gonna do this? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? And then when he's done, you're like, oh, that's what he was doing.
especially like my last one.
Yeah.
It was almost 100% freehand. I think there was one stencil on the whole thing. Everything else was just freehand.
Yeah.
So it was like
I'm glad it wasn't my first tattoo with him.
Yeah.
I would have been so scared and
Like, what are you doing?
nervous. Like, I trust him. Whereas, like, yeah, okay, I can kind of see what he's trying to do, and then once he had it done, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. This is sick.
Yep.
Like,
your guys' first meeting was the worst and the best. Where he was like, where I know that you came in with an idea, and then it was like. And then he started telling you, like, that's, like, it's going to drown itself out. Like, you're not going to be able to fit it all in that one spot. It's going to look weird. It's not going to be readable. I can't make it. Because he's very, like we've talked about, anatomically good.
Yeah.
And my guy in Chicago goes, I want to get as good as he is in terms of doing shading. Because he's not. My guy is, like, really good at doing portraits. And, like, still images. Where our other guy, like, melds things together. Yeah. Which is insane.
It's crazy that, like, because you would think if you could do portraits, that other stuff would be kind of easy for you.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. But he's like that line that I showed you where he pieced it together, where he did those separate images. He did like all those separate images, like so cool. Yeah. He's so good at that stuff. Yeah. And he was like, he goes, dude, just let me do a Day of the Dead tattoo. And I said, trust me, I already have one that you're gonna be doing. And he goes, seriously? And I was like, yeah, here's my idea, like bandana over her mouth, just her eyes. And he goes, put like a hood over her head so I don't have to, because the hair is the hardest part. And I was like, what I was thinking is having her put a flat bill on. And he was like, perfect. Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah. Well, in that first meeting I had with our guy too, it was really good. Like I was a little bummed like initially. Yeah. But I understood where he was coming from.
Yeah. Well, and like the thing too is,
and by the end of it, I felt really good about it. It wasn't like I left there like, oh, I'm not sure. It's like, no, this is the guy I want to use, and I understand where he's coming from, and that's what I wanted. I wanted someone to tell me, here's my idea. What do you think? How can we do all this all? And he did just that. Yeah. It was hard because I didn't see like the overall thing. Now it's all, that idea is done now. And it's like, oh yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, way better. And he put everything in the right spot. Yeah. I think the best placed thing is the butterfly. Yeah. That by far
and
best
the rose
placed thing. Yeah.
On that, yeah.
Best by far.
Yeah. The wings go right between that nice tricep defined diamond.
The shark tooth. The shark tooth.
The shark tooth diamond that I have there. You know. Because I'm shredded from all the cookies and ice cream I eat.
Dude, I played football with the guy. Do the edges. Yeah. And rotate it. I played football with a guy who was, I'm dead serious, like he was like 6'4", and he was like 190 pounds soaking wet. He would walk into the middle of our meetings and be like, he'd walk into the middle of the meeting, he'd stop it as the coach was talking. He'd walk in and he'd be like, hey, did you guys hear about the shark tooth? It's Shark Week. And then just leave. Just walk out. It was so funny.
Dude, speaking about 190 pounds soaking wet, new UFC star.
I mean,
dude, he's gonna be the biggest name in the UFC, and I'm drinking proper 12 whiskey right now. I've modeled my whole life after Conor McGregor, and Stylebender's gonna exceed him. I think it's like the next. Like Conor got the UFC to where Conor set the platform, got the UFC to where it is today. Stylebender is gonna bring it to that next level.
I think so.
And like even the commentators were saying last night, he was walking around the arena, they're like, is this a UFC fight or a WWE event? Yeah. Like just brings that level of energy.
He makes it a show.
And he backs it up. Whereas there's this one Brazilian fighter, I don't even remember his name, but he walked out to the octagon for like, took him like 11 minutes to walk out. He's dancing and driving the whole way, like with his groupies and all that stuff. And then he just sucks at fighting. Yeah. Stylebender does that cool haka entrance last night. Yeah. Then just walks out like he normally would and just dominates. That's how you do it. That's star power right there. You know where to play and where not to play. Well, where to show off, where not to, and he knows how to back it up.
Well, and the thing too is like there's a lot of false confidence too with a lot of guys where they're like, yeah, I know, I'm going to win. And you have to be that way, right? You have to have the confidence as a fighter, otherwise you're going to suffer in the ring. But he does it, and like you're saying, he backs it up. That's the craziest thing to me is those guys that can do that. Yeah. That's the craziest thing.
100%.
Because they have the confidence and it's not false. They're like, no, I just know I'm the best.
Yeah.
And and it's interesting to see the way that I think the guys who are that way are the most articulate too, which is crazy. Like Connor, super articulate, really intelligent.
Yeah.
And same with Stop.
And they're talking shit with a purpose. They know, like they were saying last night, every fight that Stylebender's been in the UFC, like a lot of guys are afraid to call out that next guy. He knows exactly who he wants next. He knows how, like he's so forward thinking that DC was even talking about, he called Stylebender like 3-4 years ago. I was like, hey, I want you to help me train for John Jones because they're kind of similar styles and bodies and stuff.
Right.
And Stylebender's like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I love you. Like all this shit. And then he called him back like a few days later. He's like, hey, I was looking into more of your camp and stuff, and like Luke Rockhold's there. He was at 185, like all this stuff, and he's like, I could potentially fight him or some of your other guys down the road. I as much as I want to help you, DC, I'm not gonna give away my secrets. Like he was thinking like 3-4 years down the road of like, I'm going to the UFC eventually. Yeah. Luke Rockhold's in DC's camp. He's a top 185er, had the belt for a little bit. Yeah. I could fight him. I'm not going to give away any of my secrets. Yeah. I'm not going to give you an in on this. Yeah. As much as I like DC and respect you, I just can't do that. And
that's crazy.
He's so forward thinking. It's awesome. Like last night, right away, he goes, "Yep, I want you, Paul Costa or Costa or whatever."
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, and he's smart. Like he's talking shit to John Jones right now, but he hasn't like called him out. Like he's like, I want to fight you someday, but he's not like begging for that fight right now. And I think that's smart because he's not. John Jones is huge. John Jones could easily fight at heavyweight. Like that they're trying to figure out how to get him to heavyweight and what's enticing to him. Yeah. Stylebender barely cuts weight to 185. Yeah. Like he I think he probably walks around at like 205, 200. So he'd be a smaller 205 guy, maybe puts on some muscle, but I think that's what he's banking on. He's like, I want to clear out 185, defend this belt a few times, then start bulking up and then go after John Jones at 205.
Like Connor.
Yeah.
He did
100%, right?
He did the reverse. He went down to a weight that was nearly impossible for him to get to, and then went to a more comfortable weight. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's just the reverse of doing it.
Yeah. And Connor wouldn't have done all that great at 155 from the get-go, I think. That division was killers. He went in at the right time. He was trying to go in against RDA, and I think it worked to his favor that RDA ended up losing, and Alvarez got it, and that's who Connor ended up having to fight.
Well, and as your body naturally matures, you start to get big. You start to carry more weight.
Yeah, he was in his early 20s when he was fighting in the UFC at 145. You hit I mean, I've definitely felt that where your body doesn't change as quickly. It's harder to lose weight. It's harder to get your body. And then when he stopped cutting weight to 145, as soon as they started banning IVs, because they were linking at it was harder to trace like PEDs and stuff.
Yeah, because it dilutes it.
He hasn't fought at 145 since that rule went into effect. Yeah, because he needed that to get it back.
You have to stay hydrated. Yeah.
So it clearly wasn't safe for him to be doing that. But he did it, and he was a champion.
That's the crazy thing about those IVs is how diluted they can make the tests.
Connor's only had 2 fights at 155. Because like the Nate fights were all both at 170. Yeah. I'm so excited for BMF weekend, dude. Here, I'm gonna pause this and just start a new thing. Cause that's gonna be such a good fight. Yeah.